When photographers talk about dream cameras, Leica inevitably enters the conversation. But right now, a tricky question is floating around in the photo community. Should you buy the Leica M11 that's already available, or hold off in case the long-rumored Leica M EV1 becomes reality? With a price tag nearing $9,000 for the current body, the decision is hardly casual. Spending that much money demands clarity. And with the rumors surrounding the M EV1 growing louder every week, the choice has become even more complicated. The Leica M11 arrived in January 2022 and represented a moment of evolution for the brand. It managed to keep the timeless essence of the M lineup while finally embracing some modern features photographers had been craving. The headline feature was its 60-megapixel backside illuminated full-frame sensor, capable of producing files with staggering sharpness, rich colors, and impressive dynamic range. The images this sensor delivers don't just look good, they have that intangible quality that Leica shooters often describe as soul. Many photographers open M11 files in their editing software and instantly recognize something distinct, a subtle but undeniable signature that keeps people loyal to the brand. The M11 wasn't only about sensor performance, though. Leica listened to feedback and addressed practical limitations that had frustrated users in earlier generations. Photographers gained multiple RAW resolution modes, meaning they could choose between full 60-megapixel detail or drop down to 36 or even 18 megapixels when smaller files or faster performance were preferable. Built-in storage was added alongside the traditional SD slot, providing a safety net in case a card failed during a critical shoot. And finally, USB-C charging made its debut, letting photographers top up their batteries with the same cable they used for their laptop or phone. These sound like small conveniences on paper, but to long-time M shooters they felt like overdue relief, a sign that Leica was evolving while respecting tradition. Now the rumors about the M EV1 suggest it will inherit this same 60-megapixel sensor and the Maestro 3 processing engine, meaning image quality should remain identical to the M11. On paper, then, there's no compromise in waiting. If you love the look of M11 files, you'd expect the M EV1 to match them exactly. But that's where the comfort ends, because the whispers suggest Leica is preparing to break with one of the M system's most sacred traditions, the optical rangefinder. According to leaks, the M EV1 may abandon the mechanical rangefinder entirely, replacing it with a built-in electronic viewfinder. This is no ordinary EVF. Reports point to a high-resolution 5.7-megapixel display with strong magnification and diopter adjustment, the kind of viewfinder that delivers clarity, responsiveness, and immersion. Far from feeling like the budget EVFs found on entry-level mirrorless models, this would be a tool designed to rival or surpass the best in the market. With features like focus peaking, magnification, and real-time exposure previews, it would give photographers a far more precise way to confirm focus and exposure before pressing the shutter. For wedding shooters working in dim churches, for portrait photographers using fast f1.4 lenses wide open, or for street shooters navigating twilight, the benefits are obvious. No more guessing at exposure, no more reliance on metering experience or chimping after the shot. Instead, you'd see exactly what you're going to get in the viewfinder. For many practical situations, this represents an enormous leap forward. But here's where the debate intensifies. The rangefinder is not just a focusing method, it's the defining characteristic of the Leica M. For some, it is the entire point of shooting in M, the way the bright frame lines float, the fact that you can see outside the frame as you compose, the tactile satisfaction of aligning the split image. It's more than nostalgia. It's an experience, a ritual, and a connection to a century of photographic history. Stripping it away risks undermining what makes an M camera feel like an M. Leica seems fully aware of this cultural weight, which is why the rumored M EV1 design is said to emphasize a clean, simplified silhouette. Without the rangefinder window, the camera top plate becomes purer, less cluttered. Function buttons would take the place of frameline switches, adapting the interface to an EVF-driven workflow. It would look familiar yet distinctly different. Other small details are less dramatic but worth noting. Rumors suggest the M EV1 will feature 64 gigabytes of built-in storage, curiously less than some M11 variants that offered larger capacities. Of course, with SD cards still available, this isn't a deal-breaker, but it highlights that the M EV1 may not be an across-the-board upgrade in every spec. Then comes the elephant in the room, timing, and price. Word is that Leica is planning to unveil the M EV1 around autumn 2025, with October as the likely target. Considering we're already in that time frame, the announcement could be imminent or Leica could push it into 2026. And that uncertainty creates the central dilemma. If you buy the M11 today, you might find yourself holding what feels like yesterday's model just weeks later. But if you wait and Leica delays, you'll have sacrificed months of potential shooting for nothing. The pricing rumors make this decision even harder. Instead of costing more, the M EV1 is expected to undercut the M11 significantly, landing somewhere between $6,500 and $7,000. That's roughly $2,000 cheaper than the M11 body. For a Leica, that's a dramatic price difference, especially when image quality is expected to be identical. Leica seems to be positioning the M EV1 as a more accessible M option, made possible by removing the expensive mechanical rangefinder assembly. If that proves true, it could broaden the reach of the system while still offering the magic of Leica lenses and files. So, what's the right move? It really depends on what you value most. Buying the M11 today gives you the assurance of the classic M experience, the optical rangefinder, the tactile mechanics, the proven build, and the satisfaction of using a design refined across generations. You can start shooting immediately, and there's a strong argument for not wasting time because photographs missed while waiting for the perfect camera can never be recovered. On the other hand, if you're open to a different kind of experience, one rooted in electronic precision rather than mechanical tradition, the M EV1 could be a game changer. The lower price, combined with the advantages of an EVF, might make it the more practical and versatile tool. Think about situations where exposure preview, magnified focusing, and focus peaking truly matter. For photographers working in demanding conditions, those features could easily outweigh the romance of the rangefinder. It's also worth remembering that the arrival of the M EV1 won't suddenly make the M11 obsolete. Its image quality, design, and rangefinder experience will remain just as valid as they are today. In fact, for purists, the M EV1 may be irrelevant. For them, the rangefinder is the point, and if Leica drops it, the M11 could become the last true expression of that lineage. In that sense, buying an M11 now might feel like securing a piece of Leica heritage before the company shifts direction. The bottom line is this: if you urgently need a camera right now, if you're missing assignments, missing moments, or missing inspiration because you don't have the right tool, then the M11 is the safe choice. But if you're still in research mode, not in desperate need, and willing to wait a little longer, holding off could save you a couple $1,000s or give you features that align better with your style. Either way, Leica has managed to create a genuine conversation in the photography world. The M11 already stands as one of the most refined digital rangefinders ever made. The M EV1, if the rumors hold true, could either spark excitement for a more modern, affordable Leica experience or ignite backlash for stepping away from what made them iconic. The decision ultimately comes down to how much you value the ritual of rangefinder shooting versus the practical advantages of modern electronic tools. And maybe that's exactly where Leica wants us, debating, speculating, and dreaming. Because whether you lean toward the classic M11 or the rumored M EV1, both paths lead to the same truth. Photography is about making images that matter. The camera you choose is just the tool that gets you there.